This is Benzinga Live. Spencer Israel and producer AB. What's up, everybody? How we doing?
Someone told me buy high, sell higher.
Let's get Matt Hammond on the show to talk some IPOs. Jake Wojacek from Trend Spider. We have a
breaking news. What is up, everybody? Happy Tuesday, and it's a happy Tuesday indeed with the S&P 500 up nearly 3% right now, above that 377 level. The rally continues. Is this the bottom? We don't know yet. Could be the bottom. Could just be another bear market rally. We'll see. But I do have Dave Green hanging out with us backstage. We're gonna run through some charts with Dave. See what he's been watching. Maybe he'll have some ideas about some technical levels where we're at right now. Let me know in the chat what you guys are trading. Credit Suisse up 9.6% today, up more than I want to say 12% from yesterday morning. I mean, the thing everyone was worried about this week has been like your best performer. Tesla having a little bounce back day, up 5% after getting crushed yesterday on a big down, or on a big up day in the overall market. Tesla had a big down day, so good to see Tesla bouncing back a little bit today. ARK, Kathy Wood is on CNBC right now as we speak. ARKK is up 7%. Wow. A great day for growth. Let's go ahead and without further ado, give Dave our special intro and bring him on the show. Curious what he's been watching, what he's been trading. Mr. Dave Green, how you doing?
What's up, Aaron? Welcome to my Benzinga family. Can't see the comments yet, Aaron. If you can bop that up there.
Yes, sir. I can do that.
What a difference a couple of days make, huh?
Yeah, I have a feeling a lot of retail is going to get a little bit more bullish after these past 2 days.
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of people got caught short. Thinking that doomsday was coming, and it didn't quite pan out that way.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing is I think with the market being down so much back to the lows we were at in June, it felt like we would need another catalyst to kind of bring us that leg down, and we haven't gotten that yet.
Yeah, I mean, here's a daily level of the spiders. And, I mean, look, we got oversold. Could anyone have picked that level? Probably not, you know. We busted through our weekly level again. And this is an awful big rally in a day and a half, right?
Yeah, I mean, the SPY's up 5-6% in 2 days.
Exactly. So here was what we were looking at this morning, and it gave us a clue that the spiders would probably continue going up. We had our first trend line, and we'll call it 375 just to make it easy. You can see this first trend line, and it has not broken this downtrend in, 3 weeks? So when we got above 375, that was our first clue that we could continue to go up from there, and we have. So next level I'm kind of looking at, and let me go weekly first. Where I think we have room to, it's like 384, 385. Let me go back to the daily. Yeah. So our 30 EMA is about 384. I mean, we had some great trades this morning. Now we're kind of in nowhere's land. I'm not in a hurry to jump in and buy anything here because we've had this giant move up over the last couple of days. Did the double bottom in the spiders? Not really. We broke through everything on the way back down again. So I don't know. I have no opinion where we are right now. I'll say this, on the way back down, we need to hold 375 if we start heading back down again. Yesterday was an unbelievable trend trade day, right? Those things don't happen very often, man. When you have the spiders just open and go up the entire day, and that's what they've been doing again today. Whoa, what's going on in Hasbro, guys? Let me see. Hasbro spiked down $5.
Did they report some news or something? Pre-release earnings?
You did far from moving average trade in Hasbro? Let me see if it worked. Yeah, check that out, guys. Nice job. So no matter what news is coming out in the stock or anything, guys, right? Check this out. So we had a little pivot point in Hasbro at right around $68 anyway, but the far from moving average trade set up on a 1 minute chart, gave a little green bar at around 67.60 and gave you a nice dollar trade. But yeah, there is something going on in this.
They just cut guidance. I saw.
There you go. Okay.
Which a lot of companies, I'll say, have been pretty conservative when it comes to giving guidance and stuff, because I don't think a lot of companies really know what 2023 and the outlook's going to look like in the long term. But if you start seeing companies like Hasbro kind of cut guidance across the board and these stocks drop, then it sets us up to where you could get some surprise beats down the road. I mean, I don't mind the companies kind of getting out ahead of that and saying, yeah, this next year might be harder for us than we anticipated.
Yeah, I mean, there might be a lot of those companies coming out and saying that, Aaron. That might be the problem, right?
Right. Yeah.
I have no idea what this next quarter's earnings are going to bring. I don't know. So that could be our next catalyst, either up or down. But we'll see what happens. We had a monthly level in Hasbro, guys. I don't know if we just kind of missed it. That was 66.20. And we got down to 66.98. Yeah, I would let this one settle in, guys, unless it sets up for another far from moving average trade. Would I say the medium trend is still down? Yes. I mean, look, let's go to the SPDR daily chart. Even after this gigantic rally we've had up, right? I think we were down, 25% maybe down here from the highs. And, we're up 20 points on that. I mean, we're up what did you say, Aaron? 7-8% in 2 days?
I think on the SPY about 5 or 6. 5.5% 2 days.
Yeah, for me to be convinced, guys, that this thing is, we've seen the bottom. I'll go to my daily chart. We'd have to get above like 393, 410. If that wasn't truly the bottom, and we're going to start, going back towards highs again and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and I think we'll probably give up some of these gains, but the question is, do we go give up all of them? Do we go all the way back down to the bottom? Do we break through that bottom? And I don't know. I mean, if we do continue to move higher, I don't think it'll be a straight line higher. We'll probably see some red days here and there.
It can't be. It's actually not healthy if we keep doing these big giant moves up like this. It's just not. It's not good for the market. I don't think. Look, there's still so much going on. I mean, Credit Suisse was going out of business last night. Now it's up 20%, whatever it was. I mean, it's a $4 stock anyway. I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world if those things went out of business anyway. Maybe that would put a bottom in the market. I don't know. Credit Suisse hasn't Deutsche Bank been bad for like 5 years also?
Yeah, Deutsche Bank and Credit Suisse have been in trouble, but I think some people wouldn't like seeing them go out of business just because it makes the bigger, the JP Morgans, even bigger, but who knows? Yeah.
Kathy Wood bought some more Tesla yesterday, I heard.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why part of the reason it's up so much today.
Bought some more yesterday. This is another one, man. This thing was on a death watch yesterday, right? I mean, that looked absolutely horrible yesterday, even when the market was going up. And, it's recovering a little bit now. She bought 135,000 shares yesterday. There you go.
Yeah, this isn't a buy for me yet, at least, but we'll see. We'll keep watching it. It is good to see, like you said. I mean, on a day yesterday where the S&P 500 was up 2.8% or whatever, and Tesla was getting slammed, it looked like, oh my God, it's over, And so it came back today.
Yep. So who the heck knows? I'm not involved. Tesla's not my bag. So I mean, we'll trade it. We'll trade it all day long, but not one of my long-term holdings. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I'm weary now. We're on our hands now. Like I said, we had a few great trades yesterday, a few great trades today early, and it's hard to trust this. That's just how I feel about it. From a trader's point of view, it's just hard to trust. Look, I hope we keep going up. That's the bottom line, right? Everybody hopes we keep going up, but I don't know. I think we're in no ways land as far as all that is concerned right now. So it is what it is. Have you been doing anything with your account, Aaron?
Not really. I mean, my long term, it's just more position long right now. I think right now, and let me check the VIX, because I wouldn't mind doing some like credit put spread, selling some puts, but if the VIX has just gotten crushed, I don't know if there's enough volatility to really be selling puts and making money off of it.
Yeah, no, there isn't. It depends on what you're looking at, but we looked at UVXY Monday morning when the market started rallying, and I think it was like 12 and change, 12, 13. I don't even know what it was. Let me look. It was up here a little bit. Yeah, it was like $13, and I wanted to buy 11.50 puts for this week. So those have panned out pretty well. Shop was another thing that we sold a put in out to November. We sold a 20 put in this. We just covered half of them for a 50% profit. Shop's one of the ones I like a little longer term. I mean, I don't think they're going anywhere. This thing has been absolutely destroyed. So we got bullish on this when it got down to like the 26, 27 level. So we sold some puts, and we're just collecting the premium on that. Another one that I like. Look, Google was something I was looking to sell puts on, and now it's rallied a bunch. We had a nice monthly level down here. I don't think we quite got there. It was around, $88. You know, my favorites, Google, Apple, Amazon. Those are the ones I like. Year of the chop. Suckers Rally Part 8. It could be, guys. All this could be. I don't know. Again, we're just in a tough spot right now, I think. That's why we just trade. Dix is coming in. What's the market doing, guys? We pulling back a little bit before we look at Dix?
Maybe a little bit, not much.
Trend lines up here, guys, before we run into anything.
So, did you see the job openings headline this morning?
No, was it good, bad, or indifferent? I think it was bad, which is good, or it was good, which is bad.
It was bad, which is good. It was the biggest crash in job openings on record outside of COVID ever. So, that's sign that, maybe the Fed will have to slow down at some point. So I think that makes sense why the market's ripping so much today.
100%.
And then tomorrow
we need a bad labor market. Don't we have what's tomorrow? What do we got tomorrow?
Tomorrow there's an ADP employment report, but then on Thursday there's the initial jobless claims, and then so that will be non-farm payrolls on Friday. So jobs data all week this week, but so far the job openings has been, it's a bad sign for the economy, which means it's a good sign for the market right now, which it's very paradoxical, but it's how you have to think about it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Did you guys jump in a little Dix here at 111.30? So we're looking at Dix, guys. This thing just went down, almost $2 and hit our 65 EMA. We'll see if we get a little bounce off of that. Don, you're in a little bit. All right, keep it tight stop. Kathy Wood calls in Roku, Teladoc, Zoom, Tesla, Hike. I don't want to hear about Kathy Wood and Zoom, okay? Don't even talk to me about Kathy Wood and Zoom. Gosh, you like the stock at $480 or whatever the hell it was. $290, right? So whatevs.
Jay Rice is saying he doesn't see anything special going forward with the big tech names. I don't really think the bull case for Google, Amazon, and Apple is really a growth thing anymore. I think it's more just that they're going to make so much money year after year, quarter after quarter.
I'm talking long term. I'm talking 1 to 3 to 5 years. Those are the ones that I'm looking at down here. And of course, Apple. I always love Apple. But I'm not expecting a 20-30% move in these things anytime soon. But like we always say, buy stocks that make money, right?
Yeah, and I was gonna say, even in the 3-5 years you're looking at these stocks, there probably are going to be some smaller growth companies out there that get better returns, but there's going to be more risk involved in those, And so these ones, I think, especially right now with a lot of the big names. I mean. Let's see. How far is Google still down from its highs? Like 20% still?
Which is good compared to a lot of these other stocks, right?
Yeah.
Let's say 151 and let's just say 100, right? That's 50 points. I mean, that's what, 30%?
32. Yep, 32%.
Yeah, 32%, which is still a little better than, the ZMs and all that world that are down 70, 80, 90%.
But we know Google's not going anywhere, and now the valuations have actually gotten pretty reasonable.
And again, I'm not talking about a month, 2 months, 5 months, 6 months. That's not what I'm talking about. Amazon too. What's Amazon down? 188 to 115, 70 points. It's about the same thing, right? Apple went down from 180 to 138, 50. They're all down about the same thing. So, look, I certainly think it's a good starting point. Right? And then you just add to these things long term if they go down from here. That's all. That's just my thought. Again, I don't give anybody long-term trading advice. So, yeah, guys, let's be careful here. See, the spiders are starting to break a little bit here. So I'm not in a hurry to buy anything. We've come a long way. Let's see that. I think we should look at that 374.60, guys. That was resistance. I think that becomes support. And here's our 65 EMA in the spiders. So let's put a little order out down there if we get a nice pullback down here. And to me, that's the level we got to hold. So let's hope that that becomes support now. Just put that out here for everybody. 374.60. Very important not to be. You have to adapt 100%, guys and girls. Look, we do that every day. We just added something else to our charts that has been spectacular for us. I'll share it with you guys. Going to cheat a little in the spiders by 5 cents. And what we've added to our charts, guys and girls, and I don't mind sharing it, and I'll give all credit to Ken and Kevin in my room. I'm going to show you a couple of different lines that we've added. Okay. So we now have this green line, we have this white line, and this red line. And that's yesterday's close, high of day, and low of day. And we find that we're getting some good trades off that at times. You can see when we got down to the close here yesterday, we made this trade around 239, spiked up almost $2, and we almost got to yesterday's. I mean, we just missed that, and that would have been a nice $5, $6 trade. So something we've added to our charts, lower day, higher day, and close, that has been working for us. You guys want to throw that into your technical analysis. I don't know how many people we have that are actually day trading here. I like your NVIDIA pick. To do what, Nestor? First Solar. Yeah, First Solar is really strong all day. Go ahead, Aaron.
These First Solars, First Solar, Enphase, there's a couple clean energy names that are that are basically at like all-time highs.
Yep. Yeah, First Solar, I think, might have made an all-time high today. Not exactly. Let me go look. Yep, all-time high in First Solar today. Yeah, well, so, you know, get to the sectors that are doing good. If you look at First Solar today, it's been in a beautiful trend trade. You know, 142, you could have picked up a little bit and gave you a $3 trade. Now it's trying to hold on to these trends right here. But, you know, we got 143.40. Nestor, where do you like First Solar? Still just trying to hold on to the trends here. Anyone have any questions about particular stock? Kathy Wood just called her fund a value fund. Nice.
I don't know if we'd go that far.
Yeah, where are we in a weekly in Kathy Wood? Oh, God, is that ugly? Jeez Louise. I mean, it's still in a horrible downtrend on a weekly. You got to get above 44 to show a little life in this thing. Daily would show we just look like every other chart. We're bouncing up a little bit. Weekly, yeah, again, it's still an ugly looking chart. What happened in Dix? You make money, you lose money. Did it hold? Did it not hold? There you go. Nice trade. So here's a trade, guys. Yeah, good done. That the room just did off our 65 EMA. Stock went down almost $2. Hit our support level at 111.30 and just gave a nice 50, 60 cent trade. Bouncing off our technical analysis. How many people we got with us today, Aaron?
We have about 200 people watching us today.
Nice. Very nice. Well, I will offer anyone who wants to come hang out with us for the next 4 days, as I always do, because we don't have boot camp this week. You send me an email, I'll give you a link to the room. You can come hang out with us Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Watch us trade. Talk about everything that we're looking at. It'll be my pleasure. 11:51. FedEx. Let's look at FedEx. I see a FedEx, Aaron.
Yeah,
FedEx,
I haven't.
Didn't we get blasted in FedEx on earnings? Yes, now I remember.
Yeah, I haven't looked at FedEx since that report, really. I mean, it looks like we're coming back a little from here. I mean, this is one of those names, again, it's not going anywhere. It might still have a couple rough quarters ahead of itself, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's impossible to know, right, if the bottom is in, so... But what do you think, David? Do you think it's fair to start adding to some longs that you like long term? I mean, I don't know. What do you do here if you're I know
what longs. I mean, I can't buy FedEx until they come out with a quarter that is, you know, better than the last one that it was. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, it's in the penalty box. Has it bounced? Yeah, it's bounced 17 points off the lows, right? But I need another quarter in something like that. And the ones I'm looking to add in, I'm going to wait for levels, right? I'm looking at Apple. So I'll go right to my weekly and monthly. All right. So weekly, if I go to monthly, look how last time, guys, when we bounced off our monthly 30 EMA, it went up 50 points from there. All right. So that was a place to add and then trim. Our monthly now is 134. I don't know where we are right now. Where are we in Apple? 145. Yeah. So there's a couple of spots I'd be looking to add into Apple. And I've owned Apple for a gazillion years and I sell it from time to time. 134 down to like, I don't know. What is this? 107? 107. I'd be really interested in getting into a little Apple if it gets to near $100, 107. But even when you're doing long-term investments, you got to pick your spots. Always sell. This is my advice. I don't tell anybody what to do, but I always sell some. You have a 50%, 100%, 200% profit. You got to sell some. So when things like this happen, you can get back into them. I have some people in my room that are long NVIDIA at $200 because they thought it would never, go down to these levels. So if you're long at 200, you got to buy a little more at 122 and then see what happens from there. AMC, don't get me started on AMC.
Oh boy.
I'm so sick for people who invested in this stock. I just am, right? He issued how many? I don't even know. A gazillion ape shares at $6 to all the people out there, and they've lost 55% of their money already in ape. And AMC is another one. I mean, these two together are trading at $10 now. It was $17 before he issued the ape shares. Now they're trading at $10. So
wow.
That's all I have to say about AMC. If Dick, I like the 200 and Dicks too. If we get down there, Netflix news, nothing. Netflix was so horrible this morning, right? So bad when the rest of the market was ripping up. Something had to happen with some kind of, I don't know. Something came out. There was definitely some kind of news to do that.
On Netflix?
Go ahead, Aaron.
I was saying, you were saying there was news on Netflix?
I don't know. To me, there had to be. Look how bad this was when the market was just ripping up, right? I mean, the stock went from 245 to 230. It went down 12 points this morning. I don't know why, but that'll be a reason for it. I'll look for a double bottom in Netflix now if we can do it. Going all in on Fubo. We gave you guys the good Fubo trade, right? Didn't we have those options that we made like 800% on? Yes, I think we bought the options when it was 3. We bought 5 calls, and we got out of it. Yeah, gaming is great today, right? Win, LVS. I think these things are all ripping up again, right? Where's Win? Daily. It's nowhere near its highs, but they're doing okay now. Better than they were. Didn't someone say LVS made it? Oh, probably for the day. Wow, look at this chart, guys. This is what we like to see. These are the stocks you want to buy that just go up all day. That's daily. Weekly, we got room to.
Oh yeah, Penn Gambling having a nice day. Haven't looked at that stock in a while.
I haven't looked at any of these. Yeah, LVS has room to 44. Yeah, where was Penn when they bought all what's his name stock? You know what I'm talking about. Dave Portnoy.
Oh, they bought Barstool. Yeah. That was
like $80, $100, something like that.
No, I think it was actually right before COVID. So it was bad timing because they bought it, the stock, like he got a lot of stock, I want to say at $35 right before COVID. Then COVID
went
crashed
down to 5.
But then it ended up coming all the way up to 130. I don't know how much of it he ended up selling or lost what from it, but it was kind of crazy timing wise when that deal went through.
Yeah. Well, he got into the whole day trading thing right at the pandemic started. All you had to do was push the buy button and you did okay.
Yeah, but I don't even think he was ever making that much money.
I don't think he was either. And I know he got, again, I don't care what he does or anything else, but I know he got back. He was so pissed he hadn't gotten Bitcoin. He bought it back at 35,000 and he's still in it.
Yeah, he had a couple of great days when it was, like you said, easy. All you had to do was press a button, but I think pretty quickly he was he was out of the markets, realizing he was better at his day job. Let's see what other Disney. When was the last time we checked out Disney?
I haven't looked at Disney in a long, long time, right? Let's check out where we are. $100. Let's go to the daily. Again, this looks like every other chart with bouncing a little bit, but they're still in horrible downtrends, right? I'd be, short term for me in these things, that still the path of least resistance is down on every chart that we're looking at. And Disney's another one. I mean, $180 to 100, and that's insane, man. 60, 70, 80% down. And this is after the pandemic, right? Crazy. Just crazy. Dix repeat. Let me look at Dix, guys. 200 EMA, 109.90, guys, if Dix gets down there. I'll put an order out for you, Carlos. See, that's smart. You got it at 4, you sold it at 30, Buffalo. That's the way to do it. A lot of people, how about BBBY, right? Didn't a lot of people recently get caught up in that one when it went to $30? You think? BBBY. Yeah, this was the one that went to $30 not too long ago. There it is. $30.06, back to 6. Goldman Sachs, what's going on? You're all screaming about Goldman Sachs. Oh, you got Velt. Another beautiful trend trade all day. Yeah, short and Goldman 317.40 will be a little stretched out there. Golden Nugget, Posh. What's a Posh? Happy holidays to all my Jewish friends, guys and girls. Tonight.
Oh, is that today? Is that Yom Kippur tonight?
Yeah, it's tonight. And you know what the old saying is? And it's crazy that it's worked. Sell on Yom Kippur. Sell on Rosh Hashanah and buy on Yom Kippur. That's what they've been saying for 50 or 100 years, and it couldn't have been more true this year.
Sell on Rosh Hashanah, buy on Yom Kippur, you said?
Yep. And that's exactly how it worked out this year.
Well, I
would
think
not look at Posh, guys. It looks okay, but it's got no volume. This thing.
Yeah, I think historically October has been pretty good for stocks, and I think it'd be better than maybe September or August, but yeah, I don't know.
September's traditionally been bad.
So, all right, let's see. We've got a couple minutes left, David. Let's see if we've got any other stocks in the chat. Yeah, otherwise, I think right now, it's kind of hard to there's no directional trade on like the SPY right now because we don't know how if this is the bottom or if it's just another bear market rally.
Yeah, I am. I'm in nowhere's land. I think we got to hold that 374.50, and then we got room to like 384.
So you're up a few. You're up a few bucks today. What were the trades you made today?
Guys, someone remind me of the trades we had today. I think we had a good one in Netflix early in the morning. What was it, guys and girls? Yeah, we caught this Netflix the first time that it got down to yesterday's close, and we got quick 50 cents, $1, and $1.50. What else we have this morning, guys? Someone tell me. We had another really good one. I don't remember what it was. Guys in the room, tell me what else we had.
What were you trading when you were on when you were working like on the trading desk?
Microsoft. I was never on a trading desk. Let's talk about that for a minute. Microsoft. Yeah, we had a good short in Microsoft on a far from moving average trade this morning for over $1. Okay, so I was a specialist broker on a Florida exchange, and what I ran the markets in stocks. So I used to trade Best Buy was one of my stocks. Bank of America was one of my stocks. IBM was one of my stocks.
So you traded Best Buy before it was a meme stock.
Yeah, correct. This is years ago. It was 80 in it. I think the time I had it, it was like from 50 to 85, something like that. That's when it was a real stock, 100%. And IBM. So I was a market maker in the stocks, and this is before we had anything electronic. So if you wanted to buy BBBY, you'd have to give your order to a broker. The broker would come to me. He'd say, Dave, I got 1,000 shares of BBBY to buy. I would tell him what price he was buying at and who he was buying it from. And the best part of that was sometimes I had 20, 30, 40 people standing in front of me. 10 guys were buying a stock. 10 guys were selling a stock. And you'd have to run the whole crowd. That's why it was the greatest place to be in the world. But I was an actual market maker. And I did that from 85 to 2000. I retired at the end of 1999 when Goldman Sachs bought off.
Yeah, so Goldman acquired the firm that was. So your firm was doing the specialist brokerage trading.
Spear, Leeds, and Kellogg was the specialist firm. They were the biggest specialist firm on the Florida Stock Exchange. Actually, it's the worst trade Goldman ever made. One of the only bad ones they ever made. But They bought the specialist firm for $6.5 billion. And
Back, what year was that?
at the end of 1999.
So $6.5 billion in '99 is like $20 billion today.
Whatever it is, but the specialist, the whole specialist business at the end of 2000, when they started going, first they went to 16ths, then they went to pennies. So, a lot of our income used to come from commissions, and that was starting to dry up and go away. So, yes, I knew Al Smith, Jay. Of course I knew Al Smith. Yes. So, it ended up being worth less than $1 billion when all was said and done. But they bought it at the absolute high. That was the absolute high of, that was the .com bubble and everything else up there.
Well, great timing for you. Bad timing for Goldman, I guess.
Yeah, thank God. Look, I always said I'd rather be lucky than good.
Hey, yeah. So, yeah, like you see on Dave's, we made a couple of quick trades today in this type of market. That if you're out here truly trading, that's what you got to do. You got to just take your profits when you can get them. If you hold any positions, it seems like, whether it's short or long right now, you're going to end up getting chewed up on them.
Yeah, especially overnight. I mean, you hold positions overnight in this market, you're throwing the dice. I mean, because whether, like you said, whether you're long or short, you walk in one day, you're long stocks, and the market's down 1,000 points. Okay, you get short because you think we're going lower, and we're up 2,000 points in 2 days. So what we do here, everybody, is we just concentrate on day trading, and we try to put a couple of bucks in the bank every day that add up to bigger amounts at the end of the week, the month, and the year. 83 to 84% success rate on our trades. And when we're wrong, we get out of our trades very quickly. So, we just try to make a couple of bucks every day. That's what we do.
Hell yeah. Yeah. And that's a saying, in a bear market, bears lose money, bulls lose money. Everyone, it's tough. It's not easy. And I'll say this too, for people that, I have no clue what's going to happen tomorrow. Obviously, if I did, I wouldn't be here. I'd be on a beach somewhere.
Exactly
but
right.
If we are up tomorrow and you're thinking, okay, 3 days in a row, no way we go up again, and you're buying puts, just remember we have jobs data coming out Thursday. That's really going to be important. So whether it's, whether the market's been up 3 days in a row or not, we do have some catalysts that could potentially move the market either way later this week.
100%. So, I mean, again, here's my short version of the spiders, right? We need to hold this level we just got above. Let's call it 375, and we got room to 384. That's where I am right now. 375, if we break again, we can keep going down. And if we get up to 384, that's our next resistance. That's what I'm looking at in the few days coming up now. And I can tell you this, guys and girls, every day by, what time is it, 12 o'clock? I mean, this market has been dead by 10:30, 11 o'clock. Yesterday, we just kept going up. Whoa, what the hell just happened in Tesla? Holy mackerel, what is that?
Uh-oh.
And this is what can happen too, guys, right? You're in a stock, it's a nice trend, it's going up, and Tesla goes down $6 for whatever reason. I don't know why. Right?
Looks like it's trying to come back a little.
I don't know. What the heck was that about, right?
I don't know. Let's see if we got news there. I see one. I know you got to run, David, but one final stock in the chat. Someone wants to check out Peloton, up like 17% today. I don't know if we got news there.
Up 17%. Let me see. So what is that? Like 80 cents? What the hell is the symbol?
Peloton,
right?
Peloton, yeah.
Peton. Yeah. Again, tell me it's up 70 cents, not 17%, because something's going on with Tesla and Twitter, guys. That's what's happening right now.
Oh, Tesla and Twitter?
Hold on. Let me get to this.
Oh, so, okay, Twitter deal. It looks like the Twitter deal's going. Twitter's up 6% right now.
There we go.
We got news on Twitter.
So they might be forcing them to buy it, right, for $44 billion or whatever the hell it is.
I think it was 54.
54
no, 50,
billion.
50, 54, 54.20 was the share price. I think it's $44 billion.
Did they hold Twitter? Did they hold Twitter? Twitter's halted, guys. Twitter is halted. So we don't know what the deal is. The deal went through where? What price?
Hold on, I'm gonna yell at our news desk real quick. Randy, you got that? Twitter Tesla news. Hell yeah, we posted it already, Dave. That's how quick we are.
Beautiful. See that, guys? Benzinga had this news. What time? Give me an exact time.
We had it before the move even happened. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. We had it I don't know. It was already posted by the time I told him about it, though.
All right, cool beans, man. You got some Tesla. Why'd you get some Tesla? It wasn't a far from moving average trade. Didn't get to a 20 RSI. I mean, I'm glad if you got it and you made some money, but I can't trade this until we know exactly what's going on, price and everything. Maybe they, I don't know.
This is like
we don't know. Did they meet somewhere in the middle? Or is he paying 54, whatever it is, 44
This
billion
is like
dollars?
that's like a Goldman Sachs in 1999 trade buying Twitter at $45 billion.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, we got a little level at 248.20, guys. If you want to look real quick.
Oh my God, Tesla's still going down though. I wonder if Tesla's gonna get halted too if it keeps going down. I mean, so Tesla's going down.
10%.
But how many shares? I mean, Elon has a bunch of shares of Tesla. I don't even think if he has to sell enough shares to match the, he's not going to need to sell $44 billion worth of Tesla. He's probably going to have to sell, a quarter of that or something.
Well,
still a lot of shares.
It's still going to be a lot of shares.
Right. It's still a lot of shares.
Musk said to propose to Twitter to proceed with deal at 54.20. Okay. Well, now we got to see how it plays out. I tell you, if they suck in all this bad news in Tesla, I don't know. I don't even know why Twitter. Twitter's a dying business too. Whatever. It's all done. It is what it is. He said he was done selling stock. Oh, we'll see what happens.
He said
that was the move. Anyway.
He said sarcasm. He said because every time Elon has sold stock over the past 2 years, he says, "I'm done selling stock. This is my last time." And then he comes out and sells more, and people are like, "No, it's fine, because he said it's the last time." It's like, okay.
The Benzinga popped it up there too, Greg. It's coming from Bloomberg, though. Greg said. All right, and they haven't been the most reliable lately. What else? Look,
really, Bloomberg hasn't been the most reliable.
It's not in 241 is yesterday's low, so we'll keep our eyes on it.
All right, Dave. Well, unless do you got any final words for us? If not, I'll let you go. I know I've kept you a few minutes.
No, it's fine. Today. All good. Anyone who wants to come hang out with us for the next 4 days, just send me an email, dgreen927@yahoo.com. You guys can pop that up there, please.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. So you guys want to come in, hang out, watch us trade for a little bit? Send me an email. Let's see if we get a bounce off this 248.20 level, guys. That was exactly the pivot point. Let's see. All right, Aaron. Thanks for having me, my friend.
No problem, guys. Go shoot Dave an email if you want to check out his room. You can also go to wsgta.com. Dave, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. We'll see you next week, and stay green.
Thank you, Aaron.
All right, guys. That was Dave Green, dgreen927@yahoo.com. Let's go ahead and get my Benzinga Pro pulled up because we've got a lot of moves and a lot of news today. First things first, Twitter. Still halted on the upside, it looks like. The report is that Musk is going to propose to Twitter to go through. That's weird to me. This is like, it feels like when if a couple's breaking up and the one person knows it's already over, and then they try to get out in front of it and say, no, I'm breaking up with you. Like Elon, I think, knows he's going to be forced to buy it. That's what all the court proceedings so far have indicated. Look like it's not going well for him, and now he's going to come out and say, I'll propose to go through with the deal. But he's been fighting it for the past 2-3 months. So why would he do that unless he looked like for sure, like he does, the way I see it, it would be worse for him to go through this whole court proceeding and get forced to buy it where it looks like it's out of his will than saying, yeah, I want to do this. Because if it's going to happen regardless, you might as well not look like you tried to fight it super hard and then got stuck with it and you lost a court case versus just coming out and saying, I'm going to buy it. I don't know. I have no clue. I'm just speculating right now. Oh, holy shoot. Twitter just opened up 17% at $49. Man, I'm kicking myself because I had been saying while this was like around 40 that's a decent little, chunk of change for a nice arbitration trade if you think, or arbitrage trade if you think that the Twitter deal was going to be forced to go through, which again, all the court proceedings so far had looked like indicated, there was nothing, I don't think any big wins in anything going, in anything Elon's way so far in that deal. 30 million shares short in Twitter, 11%. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much the short float matters at a time like this when it's all about if the deal is going to go through or not. Today's the biggest move since March 2020. In what? I know yesterday was the biggest move in the Dow since November 2020. Dow up 2.6% today, was up 2.61% yesterday. So we'll see if the Dow can have an even bigger day than it did yesterday. S&P 500 up. We have given up. We haven't cleared this level. Technically, the high of the day is 377.66. So I'm going to wait and see if we can clear that high. If we get to like 3:30 p.m. and we still haven't cleared that high, then I think forget about it. But we'll see. Like David said, we cleared the first big level at 360, 376. Room to 384, he said. But we shall see. Twitter now green for 2002 or for 2022? I'm just kidding, Jay. I know what you meant. That's actually incredible because out of all the stocks, right, especially, on 2022 year to date. I was looking at the past year. If you bought last October 4th, you're still down more than 20%. But Twitter's long been a dog, even among social media stocks that have been, historically not great. Twitter has been the dog of the bunch. And so seeing it up year to date, obviously because of the acquisition, is still impressive because compare that to the overall market or essentially of any other stock in the space. Like, who would have thought Twitter in 2022 would be your safe stock? How's Sunrun? I haven't been looking. So Sunrun was actually my pick for I didn't know there were a lot of short reports that came out on Sunrun. I'm not as into Sunrun anymore as I am into either Enphase or I realized I was pulling up the stocks in a different window, so y'all couldn't even see them. Who's gonna tell me? But yeah, guys. So let's go ahead and look forward to the rest of the week. What we have kind of on the board. You can put it on the board. Yeah, so tomorrow morning, ADP employment report. So ADP is it's a private company that does the payroll, but they put out a report, and it's I think it'll be important. I don't know how the number on Thursday, this initial jobless claims, and then even the non-farm payrolls will both be more important, I believe, than the ADP employment report. But again, today, this job openings number that came out was the highest. You can see. Well, wait, hold on. I'm confused. I think this is wrong what they have over here. Anyway, the job openings, or no, I don't think they have. Okay, either way, the job openings in August were the biggest drop off since COVID happened. And obviously, a lot of people got laid off because of the pandemic. So that's showing the Fed that, hey, the economy is slowing down. At least companies are slowing hiring. People aren't hiring as much. And you can argue, or you could assume that's going to translate to some layoffs too, to where unemployment starts ticking higher. Again, and all this means is that gets the Fed closer to the point where they're going to have to pivot. Yesterday, we saw the moves in the 5-year yield and the 2-year yield, and it really, it was really showing basically that the market was taking the most severe hikes off the table, saying here was the Fed's most severe, projection of where rates could go to 4.5%, 5%, whatever, and the bond markets were basically saying yesterday, we don't see that happening for real. And even here, you can see where the 5-year yield was going down here. That's where the bond market also was saying they didn't really believe Powell. But then here, I mean, look at this. Incredible move in TNX over the past month or so because they're like, oh, holy shit, the Fed's serious. They're going to keep raising rates. And now, seeing that come down a little bit. So, again, I think if you're bullish here, you're seeing all these things as good signs that the Fed's getting closer, the 5-year yield's falling, the 10-year yield, let's check that out. But I think you have to be somewhat careful still. I mean, overall, like you can't try to call a bottom. I don't know. I mean, the breadth, someone said, is better today than yesterday. That is a good sign, too. How's QQQ doing? Let me know in the chat what stocks you guys are watching, if anyone has any good trade ideas. Yeah, so the S&P 500 is on track for its best 2-day gain in 2 years. One stock I also wanted to talk about, someone pointed this out in the chat yesterday. I believe it was Jay Rice talking about Micron stock. The fact that Micron cut guidance, gave actually like pretty poor guidance by the analysts, you know, that were commenting on it, saying, hey, this was way worse than expected. And the stock didn't really go down that much. This was last Thursday. The company reported earnings. And we can see, we can look on the chart and see what the stock did right when the company reported earnings. But I almost think more important, or not more important, that's definitely, I think, the big thing. Okay, so right here, September 29th, Thursday, here's where the company, 4 p.m., the numbers came out. You see the huge volume spike. So the stock went down from like 50 down to 46. So dropped about, 10%. But then within a couple hours, it was trading right back where it was. So I think specifically for Micron, this only happens if the stock is close to a bottom. And if Tim Quast was here with us and we were talking about market structure, we would be talking about how supply and demand for stocks really drive the price, right? If there are more willing buyers than sellers, the price should go up. And people are like, no, the fundamentals are what drives the stock, or the chart drives the stock. And it's like the fundamentals or people watching the charts influence the supply and demand, right? If a company reports great earnings, the demand for that stock is going to go up. And the opposite is true too. If a company reports terrible earnings, the demand for the stock is going to go down. So it shows me that even on a bad report, there was enough demand for Micron's stock at $50 that it didn't drop. And I think that's very significant because I think for Micron specifically, that means that close to the bottom on that stock. And I don't know if that means, if we can extrapolate that from Micron to other stocks, maybe at least in the chip space, because the semis have been beaten up so much. But I think the same thing is true with something like the S&P 500, where eventually you get to a price where there's going to be demand there to buy it, even if there's bad news. So that's a sign to look for, where if you start seeing bad news, but the stocks don't go down, or even they go up, that should get your ears perking. That should get you thinking like, oh, wow. All right, what's going on with Fubo? I see people in the chat talking about Fubo. Dave was talking about Fubo too. Up 7% today. I mean, this thing's been moved. This thing was down to, this thing's been kind of ripping. How much? Let's see how much Fubo's up from the bottoms. I'm going to say 80%. %. At one point, it was up 137%. On August 16th, it got up to $6.35, back down to $4 today. Oh, I'm doing the thing again. Let's see. Anyone else got any good trades in the chat? Elon said okay to the 54.20 deal. It's what we talked about pre-market AB. Earnings might be bad, but it's more important to see the reaction. Yeah, exactly. And I saw, I don't know, something I was talking about yesterday. Someone said I was on the complete opposite side of Triple D of Dennis, and I don't know exactly what that was. So Jay, if that was you or whoever said that yesterday, let me know. Twitter, let's check out Twitter stock. Are we still halted here? It's actually come down a little bit from 50 down to 47. If you think it's a sure thing, there's still some juice there, right? From 48 to 54, that's more than 10%. That's more than 10%. So if you think it's a for sure done deal, Musk is buying Twitter at 54.20 a share, over, said, done, no questions asked, then that's a free 10%. Free more than 10%, actually. Let's see. I will say, when I called the top in the dollar, I was spot on in that. Let's check on, how can we check because we don't have DXY on Pro. What can we check? UUP, the Invesco bullish dollar fund. So yeah, you can see this is just giving us a rough estimate of the dollar. And again, the dollar was making parabolic moves against other currencies. NCLH, cruise lines. Oh my God, Jay Rice saying it's a 97% up day at noon, meaning 97% of names in the S&P 500 or overall, and like the total stock market are up. Yesterday was 89, breadth and proven, and that's a good sign for the market when you have, it's not just a few strong names driving the overall market. All right, what's the deal? I haven't looked at cruise lines in months and months and months. Their stocks. I haven't looked at airlines. But all right, shit. Jets is up 6% today. Okay, Jets, this is a ETF for all the airlines. By the way, is there one of those for the cruise lines? I'm sure there is. Someone give me a cruise line ETF. But Jets, you got to realize, none of these airlines are going out of business. Air travel is not going anywhere. This thing is crushed. I mean, it's basically still back. It's basically back at its COVID lows. It was back where we're where we were trading Jets as where we were in March 2020. That makes no sense to me. And I know the airlines, I don't think any of them are like great stocks or to hold or great companies or make a lot of money or anything like that. But I think eventually, it gets interesting just knowing these names aren't going anywhere. NCLH. I don't know what the deal with cruise lines is. I mean, look at these charts. This is like the cruises haven't recovered from the COVID lows at all. It seems like, is there more, is there something going on here where maybe trends are that people are just not doing cruises anymore? All right, let's go back to Twitter real quick. I don't know. Again, I have no clue. I would have to do some more research into the cruise lines, because if the underlying businesses are sound and the demand is there for cruises, some of those names, you got to imagine are pretty cheap right now and get pretty interesting. Andy O saying I wouldn't get on a cruise if you paid me. I've been on one cruise in my life when I was like 12. Wasn't my favorite, but it was also kind of cool. But I also maybe thought it was kind of cool just because I was 12 and you could run around and like do whatever. They had the buffet and we would ding dong ditch people's doors and shit. Like, I don't know, it was fun, but I was 12, so. I mean, yeah, I think I think COVID really turned a lot of people off the cruises. Floating petri dish, he said. I mean, yeah. They are kind of gross, I guess, if you think about it like that. But so are planes, right? Like airplanes, when you're sitting in an airplane up in the air. I do think, and I know, I don't know why it upsets people when they see other people, but I wouldn't be surprised if, like, even really, we are post-COVID now, but even going forward, you see people wearing masks on planes and stuff, because it is, like, yeah, especially during, like, cold and flu season. People aren't going to like it, but hell, I might do that. Airlines, cruisers, too hard for me. Trying to pick bottom, tough. Sure, you get rallies every now and then, but no trend. Yeah, and like I said, I think like looking at the cruise lines charts, it seems like to me there's got to be something. There's got to be like a reason that they're not at their back where they were at the COVID crash, right? And they're trading at $13 now. We're trading at $34 in 2014. It seems like there's some more problems with the underlying business. Maybe a lot of them didn't have great balance sheets in terms of a lot of debt. Maybe a lot of, I mean, yeah. Yeah, and I think too, especially on in Japan and stuff where they have like the super crowded trains and whatnot, like I think it makes even more sense if you're going to be that jam-packed and during cold and flu season. And it's also too, I think it's common too in other countries that if like you're sick, like if you have a cold and you got to go to the grocery store or something, you wear a mask. And that'd be like great if people actually did that. It would probably limit the spread of a lot of diseases in cold and flu season. But people can do what they want. Yeah, I don't know. With the cruises, I really don't know. I guess maybe a more morbid thought, grim thought, is they've lost a large portion of their customer base during the COVID pandemic. You know, I mean, how many total? Jesus. Other stocks, let's check back in on Tesla. Just trading down off that news from Twitter. Not trading down, still up on the day, but selling off its highs. Kathy's buying the shares that Elon's got to sell. I mean, geez, it's like Kathy. I feel like she's getting on CNBC talking about she's buying 100,000 shares of Twitter or Tesla. It's like she hasn't learned anything. She's buying like the arguably most overvalued stock on the market right now, when there are actually some good deals out there, and probably some good deals in some names she actually likes. Like Zoom, I think, is actually at a pretty reasonable valuation. Of course, I'm not bullish, really super bullish Zoom here. I think you have the potential for a value trap where their earnings start decreasing. But I mean, look, Zoom with how many people work remote now, and that's kind of changed probably for good. Zoom's gonna be around. Elon cannot sell now, still. Period. He is selling. Retail very strong. Yeah, I think and some of these oh wow, Lulu is having a great day. Lulu, that chart still looks really ugly though. You guys know I'm not the biggest chart guy, but charts can either look really good to me or really bad to me, and this one doesn't look great. It could look a lot better if it starts coming back up and gets, clears some levels, but not looking great right here. I think, too, I'm starting to realize that, like, companies have life cycles, and, like, at Lululemon, there are so many competitors at this point, and people, like, you can go to Target and get a really nice pair of leggings now. I mean, I don't do that, but I've heard from girls you can go to Target and get a really nice pair of leggings that like compare in quality for Lululemon. The only difference is they don't have the Lulu logo for cheaper. But I guess you could say that about Nike too. Like you can go buy a cheap pair of tennis shoes, but people still pay for Nike. So I don't really know. Lululemon will probably be not going anywhere. But let's see. Let's go to overview. Let's see some of the fundamentals. Trading at a forward PE of 25. So historically for Lulu, this is actually really cheap. The problem is with a PE like this and a price to sales like this, a lot of growth is expected. And that's basically where I'm getting at with Lulu. Like, I think it'll be strong. I think it'll put up numbers every quarter. But is it going to grow? And that's the question. I don't know if the growth is going to be there for Lulu. But I'm no fashion industry, apparel expert. Never claimed to be. Levi? How about Levi's? People are always going to buy jeans, right? I kind of like Levi's. Look at this. Cheap. Price to sales 1. PE 10. That's what we're looking for. That's looking good to me. I need me some new jeans. I'm going to buy me some Levi's stock and then buy the jeans with the profits. And then the stock's going to go up even more. Ooh-wee. I'm liking this, boys and girls. Might have found me a new pick. Lulu won't grow. The wearer will get heavier, though. Wait, are you guys getting food? No Levi for me. Woke company. I don't know what. I don't know exactly. I honestly think like Levi's. This might be me being like super naive. I honestly think Levi's like thing about. I think Levi's thing about like sustainable clothes and the fact that their clothes are durable and like because fast fashion is like really bad for the environment. If that makes me woke to say like that as an objective fact, then I guess so. I honestly like I think as far as different corporate messaging goes from different companies, like I think that's fair from Levi's to say, hey, you can buy a pair of Levi's, buy a jacket from Levi's, and have it for years and years and years. You can't say that about if you go buy, you can't say that if you go buy a thing from Shein or Express, something cheaper. Like, if you look into it, right, and here, we can just do this. I don't know. I've seen here. Maybe there'll be some good infographics. Oh, never mind. Those aren't infographics. Oh, here we go. Nope, that's not. How about this? How about if we did fast fashion, environmental impact, infographic. Or here, how about this one? This one might be good. I don't know. Either way, like Shein is I think Chinese company that they thank you. See, I get that like fake woke is for companies is probably worse than being like actually woke. Because if they're just saying, oh, our jeans is like great for the environment, buy our jeans, but they don't really believe that. But I'm saying that like to me that's legit. Like saying like, hey, like yeah, you buy a pair of jeans, you don't need to go buy, a cheap pair of pants from Shein. Where they're going to make it super cheap. There are other... I'm trying to think of other... Like, Patagonia. Like, you're not going to tell me that Patagonia's, like, messaging is, like, fake. Like, I think they, like, truly, believe what they're saying, and it's not just some, like, marketing shit. 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions are caused by clothing and footwear production, more than all international flights and maritime shipping combined. So next time you see someone bitching about Taylor Swift taking her private jet or Elon taking his private jet for a 10-minute flight, just know that, the person who's ordering 10 different tops off Amazon that they're each going to wear one time is just as... So if you see me wearing the same pants every day, just know that, that's why. Again, just got on that tangent because someone said they don't like Levi's because it's a woke company. I understand. I mean, vibe with the companies you want to vibe with. DWAC, I'm sure would be something you would love then. Let's check out how DWAC is doing. DWAC is very non-woke, so anyone that should be a good investment. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene bought DWAC at like $80, $70. Everyone talks about the worst trades, or sorry, like when Congress people make like really great trades. I'm gonna write an article about like the 5 worst trades by senators and who they were. I think that'll be interesting. Marjorie Taylor Greene buying DWAC at whatever it was, got to be up there. They had a right-wing dating site that had no woman sign up. To be fair, I bet if they made a leftist one, it'd be similar. Although, I don't know. Whoa. Oh, never mind. Still live. I actually closed out the tab on my laptop, and I thought that ended the show, but I forgot we're live on a different thing, too. You vibe with a good deal? I do. I vibe with a good deal, and Levi's looks like a good deal to me. I'm gonna keep I'm gonna here's what I'll do. I'll do some more DD on Levi's. We'll bring it to DWAC. So I wonder if DWAC is at least part down on the Twitter news, right? Oh yeah, definitely. Because right, there's no need for a DWAC, a Gab or a Parler that promotes free speech if Elon's truly gonna step in and implement like a free speech absolutist policy. I don't think that's going to be possible, to create a free speech absolutist policy on Twitter. There's a reason that there's a reason essentially that Twitter and Facebook or whatever censor anything anyway, because it's always going to be controversial, right? There's always going to be people pissed about it. Nick Line said, I only wear Louis Vuitton pants and Lululemon blouses with my Yeezys on my foot. There you go. Hey, if you spend money on nice shit, chances are you're gonna keep it longer and not have to. Yeah, I mean, Elon said he's gonna let Trump back on, but then Trump said he wouldn't come back on even if he was invited to Twitter because he's all about his Truth Social. He doesn't want to tweet anymore. He wants the truth. Finally, a great day. Where were you yesterday, Jana? Lulu will buy her clothes back. Speaking of Lulu, I think Lulu does do a good job of, if you have a rip or something in some clothes, they'll repair it or get you a new one. Pretty, no questions asked, to be honest. I've had them replace, like a whole pair of $100 pants just because it had like one little snag in it, one little hole. Other Elon news, also relating to Elon Musk and Twitter. This was on Twitter yesterday. People were making big, it was making big headlines about Elon's tweet about Ukraine kind of offering a peace deal. I don't know. I mean, this is, I think, to me, is a classic case. Elon's, had a knack for basically trying to exert himself as having the best idea at many different times, right? If you guys recall when there were a bunch of people trapped in a mine in, I don't think it was Chile. I don't think it was the Chilean mine. Where were those people stuck in a mine? Hungary, maybe? I don't know. Either way, Elon said he was going to make a submarine. Didn't happen. But anyway, Elon gave, let's find it on Twitter. Elon gave his peace deal. I'm not an international relations expert. I don't really know why this was problematic. I know probably we don't need Elon Musk trying to like broker peace deals. All right, let's try this then. The will of the people who live in Donbass and Crimea should decide whether... Okay, so people were upset because if the people of those areas vote for Russia, they think that he's siding with Russia and not really... To be quite honest with you... yeah, Andy, I wrote an article. So last week during the hurricane in Florida, Elon tweeted that Cybertrucks would be able to be used as boats. And I wrote an article about like the different times Elon has kind of stuck his head during times of crisis and tried to like play savior. So Ventilators during COVID were ones. They ended up being CPAP machines for sleep apnea as opposed to ventilators. Granted, Starlink seems like did do a good job, although I think he was still overselling that because the portal you need to access Starlink is $500. And so even though the networks are live for all of Ukraine, people need to spend $500 to get it. And I don't know how accessible that is for most people, although, again, I'm giving them credit there. But the boat thing with the cyber trucks, the Tesla ventilators, the mining, the submarine thing to me was the craziest. That's fair. Didn't see it as siding with Russia, or rather a lack of respect of knowledge of the situation. I kind of I don't know. I will say I think the people that are like critical of the fact that everything has to be so anti-Russia, like you can't have a nuanced conversation. Like Putin gave a speech a week or so ago, and again, I'm not Russia apologist. I don't condone any war. I don't condone what Putin is doing. But if you like listen to Putin's speech with an open mind, it's like, oh, okay. Like he's not, I got the impression he was making some good points, not, just going, not just some like complete insane dude. He's one of the worst influencers in the crypto space ever. Yeah, that I think that will go down. I mean, his pumping a Dogecoin. By the way, I don't even think we've talked about it on the show because it happened over the weekend. But the Elon Musk texts. No, not to Amber. I don't care about Amber Heard and I wonder who's got like an archive of all the texts. There was one where they were talking about doing a blockchain. They were doing a blockchain. He wanted to do a blockchain version of Twitter, and then he like wrote back like, "Oh, Dogecoin Twitter won't work." And it's like, no shit. Anyone could have told you that Dogecoin Twitter isn't gonna work. Elon Musk's texts shatter the myth of the tech genius. I'm telling you go into some of these texts, and they're pretty I think it was the ones between the ones about the crypto were with his brother. I'll try to find that one. Elon Musk crypto Twitter text. Here's a good. Here we got a Benzinga article on it. There we go. Exchanges with Joe Rogan. Yeah, so careful what you text because you never know when you might get depositioned in a lawsuit or subpoenaed and have to have those texts become the public record. You should raise your offer to 54.21. Calcanus told Musk, the perfect counter. Oh yeah, here's the Kimball Musk. I have an idea for a blockchain social media system that does both payments and short text messages, links like Twitter. You'll have to pay a tiny amount to register your message on the chain, which will cut out the vast majority of spams and bots. And the new platform could guarantee free speech. And they wrote all about it, and they got really excited about this idea of blockchain Twitter, and it ended up not working out. That's fair. I think that's fair too. Let me try to find. I'll try to find a link to this Twitter thread. I to be honest with you, I read this Twitter thread about it, so I'm not gonna try to pretend like I know so much about the situation. Try to find it from All right, it came from Konstantin Klissen. Found him. Here, I'll just put a link to the thread. And again, no endorsement. I just thought it was interesting. Again, I was more just I was more just, you know, saying like that's the one criticism I think of the Russia-Ukraine situation I can get back on, is that it seems to be like you can't have a nuanced conversation about it without it becoming like, oh my God, you're a Russian, you know, apologist, or you support. I don't support Russia. I don't support Putin. But I think you can have a conversation about like why the conflict is happening, regardless. But anyway, let's get back to stocks. How about that? Benzinga Pro. Whoever put it in it was the Philippines. The people that were the soccer team stuck in the mines in Philippines. Musk said he was going to send a submarine in there. These divers ended up saving them. This is actually, I think, like one of the things I like the least about Elon. And then the guy who ended up saving these kids in the mine, he called like a pedophile or something. And they had to go to court over it. And I don't know how. I really don't. But Musk ended up like winning the lawsuit somehow, and like a lot of lawyers have come out after and been like, that's just like a classic case of like the richer person affording like the more legal, you know, whatever, winning the lawsuit instead of actually being like justice. Like that to me is, I don't think this guy was a public figure, right? So then there's a different standard for defamation or libel. You know, if someone's a public figure like Trump or Obama, I can say whatever I want basically, and if it's not true, it's fine, I guess. I don't really know. No, it's not fine, but there's a much bigger standard to proving malice when it comes to libel or slander with a public figure versus a private figure. I believe that's New York Times versus Sullivan. Someone can fact check me on that. But basically, this diver who's a private figure got called a pedophile. I don't think off any real basis. Like, I don't think he actually is, and somehow lost the case. Seems pretty cut and dry, right? A guy said something that was not true. Does Twitter buyout make Meta look cheap? That's I don't think anyone's gonna look at that and start using that as valuations for other social media companies, because I think everybody, and I mean everybody in Silicon Valley and Wall Street knows that that's way overvalued. Musk knows it. That's why he was trying to get out of it. I worry about a potential value trap with Meta, although there is a chance that it's just going to, make a bunch of cash every freaking quarter, and I don't really know. Let's look at the income statement. Gross profit. I mean, these are in millions. So I don't even know. What is 23,000 million? Is that 23 billion? They made 23 billion last quarter, 21 billion the quarter before that, 27 the quarter before that. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it can't go down. The numbers can't go down, but if it stays steady or even just isn't growing that much, but like slightly growing, and you can make the argument that it's a value stock. But I worry about a value trap here for sure. Yeah, 100%. That's what they've said that from the get-go, that their bots are going to be designed to be able to do like assembly tasks to put the robots together. It's 100% what he's doing. He also I think Elon. I think what I've learned about Elon is it's almost like he has a really good way of like spinning things and doing what he wants to do, but then changing the narrative about why he's doing it, right? Like, of course, when he, you know, the biggest example for me is, so like California, if you look into it, the California, how much essentially, like Tesla would not exist today, at least not the Tesla we know it, without major help from the woke California government, right? Like they were giving subsidies, really, you know, getting it off the ground. And Elon, you know, kind of like it's kind of like a fair, you would think like, okay, if you're a state and you're going to give this small startup, you know, all these tax breaks and credits, and people in California that buy a Tesla get a rebate, and you're really, you know, like rubbing their back, you expect Tesla to not screw you over. And then when Tesla ended up going to Texas for tax purposes, he had a good excuse and was able to change the narrative about it because it was during COVID. So he was able to say, I'm doing it because of COVID restrictions in California. And he had like half the, you know, country backing him on it, saying, yeah, hell yeah. When really, I think COVID or not, he probably didn't want to pay the corporate taxes in California, saw Texas, and was like, yeah, man, like, oh, let's go there. I don't think it had anything to do with the COVID restrictions. To be honest, I think that was a good excuse for him to be able to say, you know, yeah, we're doing this. But to me, it's kind of, I don't know, like he took a lot of Californian jobs, I think, with Tesla. I think the production, whatever they have there, is probably still running, but at least like the, you know, executive, you know, board and whatnot. And it's like, if you're California, you got to be pissed about that, right? Like, hey, man, we made you. And then you're just going to leave us? I don't know. I'm not buying Meta right now. I do think Netflix is interesting. You did have a lot of value investors come in and start buying Netflix. I think it's getting it's not getting expensive again. It's just not as cheap as it was, obviously, at 180 now that we're up at 240. But Netflix too, you could have that potential value trap where if the numbers really start to come down, I mean, we've seen you know, subscribers start to come down, but I don't know. I mean, I think Netflix, it has a core customer base that I don't think, you know, I don't think that many people each month are canceling their Netflix subscription. I think most people pay $15 a month. It's not that much of a big expense for them. So when they're looking to cut pennies, it might not be like the first thing, you know. I mean, think about it. If you're trying to save money, staying at home and watching Netflix is actually a great way to do it. For $15 a month or whatever it is, maybe $20 a month now, you have all that entertainment. If you're trying to save money and you cut that out, at least for me, I feel like if I cut, you know, like then I'd be out spending more money other places more. Yeah, that's fair. I listened to an interview with the lady who did that. That's fair. I don't think that's probably a good excuse too. Like, I don't think, you know, one tweet, it was one person. I don't think, I don't really either. I just like it, to me, it's like, I don't know, whether it's California or Texas, if I started a company right now in Michigan and I got a bunch of funding from Michigan and then blew up and then took it to Illinois, people would probably be like, what the heck? That's all I'm saying. It has nothing to do with, you know, California. That's news to me. CPAP machines to ventilators. Okay, so I mean, here, I don't know. Send me. Did those CPAP machines end up getting converted to ventilators? Do you know? Because whether they can or not, I think that's the important part, right? So, PAP, positive airway pressure, would require significant rework in order to function as a ventilator. So if you're saying he did a great thing, like sent these CPAP machines, and then said, hey, you gotta do a lot of work to get these functioning. Are you guys busy? Are you guys busy with COVID patients, or do you have time to rework these ventilators? Like, I don't, like, I'm not saying, I've never seen anything saying that those CPAP machines ended up getting converted to ventilators. Yeah, 100, and I 100% agree. And actually, the data coming out from like people that were on ventilators and stuff, like I think it for a lot of people made it worse, made COVID worse. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like it made it so people couldn't get better because their breathing was. So it ended up being good that Elon didn't send ventilators. I'm not saying that. It was just a classic Elon move to send a bunch of ventilators that weren't really ventilators. And if your point was it was a great thing to do, even though they weren't ventilators, because you can put a lot of work in and change. It's like saying like, you know, I sent someone a big block of wood. But if you do a lot of work, it could be a beautiful sculpture. I'm a great guy. I sent you a big block of wood. Which in 2020, that would be a good guy move, because a block of wood was worth like $10,000. I do like the yeah, I mean, if you yeah. I think I don't think I think it was all a publicity stunt, like Brian Blockchain was so. Yeah, 100% ventilators. I mean, it's tough though. Like there were probably people that were struggling to breathe, and I guess the right, I don't know, I'm not a doctor. It seems like, I guess, knowing the ventilators didn't work, the right move would have been to monitor them until they were really about to like not have their last breath, then put them on a ventilator, instead of being more liberal with the ventilators, and then people like not able to recover. Again, I don't know. We've learned a lot about COVID. I don't think, obviously, every response, every policy was right in hindsight, but I think at the time, when you were dealing with the information you had available, people were doing their best. Someone tried to sell a wood stump for $800. I don't know how much, like, how much do politicians make the choice about ventilators? Like, if a doctor, that seems like it'd be more hospital policy, right? Unless politicians came in and said you can't use ventilators at all, but then people would freak out about that policy, right? I don't know how much I agree with that, Brian Blockchain. What year was the first iPod released, though? 2001. I believe. 2002, maybe? Let's look it up. Why are you asking me this? I wrote an article about why this is the most random question ever. What year was the first iPod released? I want to say 01. Yeah, 2001, October 2001. Really close to 9/11, actually. October, it was like the month after 9/11. I wonder if it was supposed to come out earlier, and they were like, we'll wait a little bit. People needed music then, more than ever. Wait. I got that right, and I want that shirt. You gotta get, oh, okay. Email us, shows@benzinga.com. I'll get you a shirt, man. No problemo. All right, y'all. That'll be a wrap for us today. Money Mitch got a huge show. He's got Gordon Johnson coming on at 1:45, I believe. The biggest Tesla bear out there. Should be a good day to have Gordon Johnson on, as we have Tesla news. Tesla moving this week. So Gordon Johnson, Tesla bear, 1:45. Stay tuned. This stream will automatically redirect you there. Peace and love, Zinger Nation. Till next time. Till tomorrow. No, thank you, MD. Where's our outro?